the top 10 KU basketball players of all time. Number 10, Frank Mason III. Frank Mason is one of the most liked Jayhawk players of all time, especially in recent memory. Now, it is very rare for top players to stay at college for 4 years. Many of them leave after only 1 or 2 years. Frank Mason, in his first 4 years at Kansas, helped the Jayhawks win the Big 12 every year that he was there. He started 112 games in a row for Kansas from his sophomore year to his senior year. Fortunately, Kansas never won it all when Mason was here, or else he'd be much higher on this list. During his 4 seasons at KU, he won NCAA All-Region, Consensus All-American, 3-time All-Big 12, Big 12 All-Defense, 2016-2017 Big 12 Player of the Year, 2016-2017 Associated Press Player of the Year. He also won the Naismith Award and the Wood Award. After his amazing career, he got drafted by the Sacramento Kings with the 34th pick in the 2017 NBA Draft. He has not accomplished much in the NBA so far, as he is only averaging 6.7 points per game and has 0 All-Star appearances. He is also still a very good player and has only been in the league for 4 years, so it'll be exciting to see Frank develop as he gets older. Mason can be a great role player on a championship team in the future. At number 9 on this list, I got JoJo White. JoJo White is one of the best defenders to ever play the game of basketball. He also had an amazing jump shot. JoJo White and the Jayhawks won the Big 8 his freshman and sophomore year. His junior and senior year, they came in second in the Big 8. JoJo improved a ton from his freshman year to his senior year, as he went from averaging 11.3 points per game to 18.1 points per game. He won NCAA All-Region team and was a 2-time Consensus All-American. Unfortunately, he never had success in March Madness because he played at a time where UCLA had the most dominant run that anyone had ever seen. UCLA went on to win 7 straight championships from 1967 to 1973, so it's UCLA versus the world at this time. After JoJo's senior year, he was the 9th pick in the 1969 NBA Draft. He had a very successful 13-year career. The majority of his career is with the Boston Celtics, as he was there for 10 years. JoJo averaged 17.2 points and 1.3 steals per game over his career. He won 2 NBA championships with the Boston Celtics, and he won Finals MVP in the 1975-76 season. During his career, he also made the 1969-70 All-Rookie team. He was a 7-time All-Star and is currently in the Hall of Fame. At number 8, I got Clyde Lovellette. Clyde Lovellette is one of the best centers to ever play at KU. Clyde stayed at Kansas for 3 years. In his junior year, he averaged 28.4 points per game and 12.8 rebounds per game. That same year, he led the Jayhawks to a 28-3 record, which was first in the Big 7. At this time, only 16 teams made it to March Madness, and Kansas cruised to the tournament with an average victory of more than 12 points. In the championship game against St. John's, Clyde scored 33 points and had 17 rebounds as Kansas won 80-63. This was the first time Kansas had ever won the national championship in basketball. While at Kansas, Clyde achieved NCAA All-Tourney Team, NCAA All-Region, 2-time Consensus All-American, and NCAA Tourney Most Outstanding Player. After his national championship season, Clyde was selected by the Minneapolis Lakers, the 7th overall pick in the 1952 NBA Draft. Clyde had a great 11-year career in the NBA as he averaged 17 points per game and 9.5 rebounds per game. He made the All-Star team 4 times. In the 1955-56 NBA season, he made the All-NBA team. Clyde ended his career with 3 NBA championships, 1 with the Minneapolis Lakers and 2 with the Boston Celtics. He's currently in the Hall of Fame. At number 7, I got Danny Manning. Danny Manning will forever be a Jayhawk legend. His senior year, he almost single-handedly carried Kansas to the national title. If this list was based solely on college success, he'd be top 2 on this list. Danny Manning stayed at KU for 4 years, and he started 146 out of 147 games. Ever since Manning stepped on campus, he made a big impact on his team as a freshman. He averaged 14.6 points, 1.7 steals, and 1 block per game. Danny improved his numbers each year, and as a senior, he averaged 24.8 points per game, 1.8 steals per game, and 1.9 blocks per game. Manning's senior year, the Jayhawks were 27-11, which was 3rd in the Big 8. They ended March Madness as the 6th team in the tournament. Manning helped the Jayhawks upset rival Kansas State in the Elite Eight. Then, he led them to an even bigger upset against number 2 seeded Duke in the Final Four. The championship matchup was now set. 6 seeded Kansas would take on top seeded Oklahoma. The talented Oklahoma team would have 4 future NBA players. However, none of that mattered because Manning was clearly the best player on the floor. Against Oklahoma, Manning played one of the best games of his life, as he had 31 points, 18 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. He was doing everything for Kansas, and they would have no shot without him. After 4 years of college, Danny Manning achieved NCAA All-Tourney, 3-time NCAA All-Region, NCAA Tourney Most Outstanding Player, 3-time Consensus All-American. He won the Wooden Award, which is the best player in college basketball, Naismith Award, and he was 3-time Big 8 Player of the Year. After one of the best college careers ever, he was selected first overall by the Los Angeles Clippers in the 1988 NBA Draft. He had an average NBA career but never lived up to the number 1 overall pick, as he was only a 2-time All-Star, and he won the 1997-98 Sixth Man of the Year award. In his 16-year NBA career, he was traded multiple times as he played for 7 different teams. In his 16 years, he averaged 14 points per game, 1.1 steals, and 0.9 blocks. All the highlights from this video of Manning in a Kansas uniform are from his dominant championship game against Oklahoma. At number 6, I got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is one of the most hyped players coming out of high school of all time. He was a 5-star in his 2013 class. He was the number 1 overall recruit. This is because he is a 6'7" athletic freak who can dribble like a point guard and can shoot like a shooting guard. As a freshman, he lived up to the hype of being the star of the show, as he averaged 17.1 points per game, 1 block, and 1.2 steals per game. Averaging 17 points per game at any age of college is really impressive, but the fact that Andrew did it his freshman year makes it even more impressive. In Wiggins' only year with the Jayhawks, he and Embiid led them to a 25-10 record, which was first in the Big 12. However, the youth of the Jayhawks is probably a big reason why they got upset in the round of 32 against Stanford. In only one season, Wiggins earned 2013-2014 Big 12 Rookie of the Year, Big 12 All-Freshman, and 2013-2014 All-Big 12, 2014 All-Big 12 Tournament Team, and Consensus All-American. The following year, Wiggins went on to be drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves as the first overall pick in the 2014 NBA Draft. Since joining the NBA, Wiggins has been a good player, but not the great player people expected out of him for being the first pick in the draft. In 9 seasons so far, he's averaged 19.5 points per game. However, he has not been named to an All-Star game yet. In his rookie season, he was the 2014-15 Rookie of the Year. Andrew Wiggins has definitely improved his game since recently being traded to the Golden State Warriors. If the Warriors win another NBA championship, he will be a big reason why. At number 5, I got Kirk Hinrich. Kirk Hinrich is one of the best shooters to ever play the game of basketball. Kirk was a player that stayed at Kansas for 4 years, and he improved each year. As a freshman, Kirk did not play that much until the end of the year. He averaged 5.5 points per game and 1 steal per game. His sophomore year, he made a big jump and averaged 11.5 points per game and 1.3 steals per game. During his freshman and sophomore year, KU was a good basketball team, but they were not top seeds in the tournament, so they had a couple early exits. However, during his 2001-2002 junior season, Kirk helped lead Kansas back to the Final Four. He averaged 14.8 points per game and 1.6 steals before they lost to the number 1 seed in Maryland. Maryland went on to win the national championship. The following year, Kirk's senior year, he led Kansas back to the Final Four. His numbers improved yet again to 17.3 points per game and 1.9 steals, which was 6th in the NCAA. This time, Kansas beat Marquette in the Final Four to advance to the championship game. Unfortunately, the Jayhawks fell just 1 game short and lost to Syracuse 81-78. During his collegiate career, Hinrich was awarded NCAA All-Tourney, NCAA All-Region, 3-time All-Big 12. He had the highest true shooting percentage from 2000 to 2002, After Kirk's great career, he was drafted by Chicago Bulls as the 7th pick in the 2003 NBA draft. He was a big part of the Bulls franchise as he played for them for 11 years. It is unfortunate for Hinrich because he most likely would have been NBA champion at least once if Derrick Rose had never torn his ACL. Some of his accomplishments from the NBA was making the 2003-2004 All-Rookie team and making the 2006-2007 All-Defensive team. Kirk averaged 10.9 points and 1.1 steals over his lengthy 15-year career. At number 4, I got Mario Chalmers. Mario Chalmers, without question, hit the biggest shot in Kansas basketball history. In 2008, during March Madness, he made a game-tying three that sent the championship game against Memphis into overtime. Kansas later went on to beat Memphis in overtime 75-68 to win the 2008 national championship. This was the last time the Jayhawks have won the national title. During Chalmers' 3 years at Kansas, he averaged 12.2 points per game and an impressive 2.6 steals per game. He won many awards while at college, including NCAA All-Tourney Team, NCAA All-Region Team, 2-time All-Big 12, 2-time All-Big 12 Tourney, 3-time All-Big 12 All-Defense, Big 12 All-Freshman, 2006-2007 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Big 12 Tournament MVP. He also won NCAA Tourney Most Outstanding Player because of these shots. Chalmers went pro the year after and was the 34th pick in the 2008 NBA draft. He made the 2008-2009 All-Rookie team. Chalmers never made the All-Star team in his 10 seasons in the league. However, he did win 2 NBA championships with the Miami Heat. He was a big part of their championship success because of his defense and his ability to knock down shots. Mario Chalmers averaged 8.9 points per game and 1.5 steals in his 10 seasons in the NBA. I will now show you the biggest shot in Kansas history.
Stayed with that one. Kansas has made only 2 threes on the night. They must make one here to extend the game. Collins driving, almost lost the handle. Chalmers for the tie. Got it in 2 seconds. Unbelievable. Dozier at midcourt for the championship. No, we're going to overtime.
At number 3, I got Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce had an outstanding college career while he was at Kansas. His freshman year, he averaged 18.7 points per game and 8.4 rebounds per game. Kansas had a 29-5 record, which was first in the Big 8. The Jayhawks earned a 2 seed in the tournament and ended up making it all the way to the Elite 8 before losing to Syracuse 60-57. The following year, Pierce improved and averaged 23.2 points per game and 9.6 rebounds per game. This time, Kansas was 34-2, which was first in the Big 12. Paul Pierce helped his team secure the 1 seed before losing to Arizona in the Sweet 16. Arizona ended up winning it all that year, and the closest game they played was against the Jayhawks. For Paul Pierce's final year at KU, he averaged 26.9 points and 8.8 rebounds per game. The Jayhawks once again were one of the top teams in the nation with a 35-4 record, which was the best in the Big 12 again. Unfortunately, Rhode Island upset Kansas in the round of 32. Paul Pierce had a great career at Kansas. He just never was able to cut down the nets in March. During his time at Kansas, he was awarded 1996-97 All-Big 12 third team, 1997 All-Big 12 tournament first team, 1997 Big 12 tournament MVP, 1997 NCAA tournament All-Region, 1997-98 All-Big 12 first team, 1997-98 Consensus All-American first team, 1998 All-Big 12 tournament first team, and 1998 Big 12 tournament MVP. Also, he was just elected to the Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. After all of these accomplishments, Paul Pierce was drafted by the Boston Celtics with the 10th overall pick in the 1998 NBA draft. His career definitely took off once he got drafted by the Celtics because he averaged 21.8 points in his 15 seasons with them. Pierce was a 10-time All-Star. He was on the All-NBA team 4 times, and he made the 1998-99 All-Rookie team. In 2008, Paul Pierce led the Boston Celtics to the NBA championship, which ended up being the only ring that Paul Pierce won. Paul Pierce won Finals MVP that season. Recently, Pierce was selected to the NBA 75th anniversary team, and he is currently in the Hall of Fame. At number 2, I got Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is currently one of the NBA's biggest stars. He was born in Cameroon and was under-recruited until he was 16 years old, which is when he decided to move to the United States. Joel decided to go to Montverde Academy, which is one of the best high schools in the country for basketball players. Montverde Academy helped Joel develop his game and most importantly put on some weight. Kansas saw this athletic 7-footer and knew they had to take a chance on him. In his lone season at Kansas, he led the Jayhawks to a 25-10 record, which was first in the Big 12. Embiid averaged 11.2 points per game and 8.1 rebounds per game. The Jayhawks were a number 2 seed in the tournament before getting upset by Stanford in the round of 32. After his lone season at KU, he was named Big 12 All-Freshman, Big 12 All-Defense, 2013-14 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and 2013-14 All-Big 12. Joel also had the highest total rebound percentage in the Big 12. When Joel Embiid declared for the draft, the Philadelphia 76ers took him with the 3rd pick in the 2014 NBA Draft. Joel was not able to play even 1 second his first 2 seasons because he suffered a very bad foot injury. Many people were scared that he would end up being a bust. In the 2015-16 season, the Philadelphia 76ers were 10-72, which is the 3rd worst NBA record of all time. The following year, when Joel Embiid could finally play, he helped this historically bad 76ers team to a 28-54 record, which still is not a good record, but you could tell the impact Joel Embiid had on his team. Joel Embiid only played in 31 games during the 2016-17 season, but it was enough to be named to the All-Rookie team because he averaged 20.2 points per game and 7.8 rebounds per game. Every year since Joel's rookie year, he's continued to average over 20 points per game, and he's made the All-Star team each year. In his 5 completed seasons, not including this year, he has been named to the All-Defensive team 3 times and the All-NBA team 3 times. For those of you who don't know, being named to the All-NBA team at the end of the year is the top award that you can win as a player besides being league MVP. Joel Embiid finished 2nd in league MVP voting in 2020-21 season, and he's going to continue to be an MVP candidate in the years to come as he has completely turned the 76ers franchise around from being the laughingstock of the league to being a legit playoff contender. At number 1, I got no other than Wilt Chamberlain. Some people say that Wilt Chamberlain was not only the best University of Kansas basketball player of all time, but also the best basketball player of all time. Wilt Chamberlain was ahead of his time as he was 7'1" center who was the most athletic guy on the court. In just 2 seasons at KU, he scored 1,433 points, averaging 29.9 points per game, while shooting 47% from the field. He was also named Consensus All-American both seasons. In his freshman season, he was named to the NCAA All-Tournament, NCAA Tournament All-Region, and NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player, which are all awards you see very few freshmen winning. Wilt led his team to a 20-2 regular season record and a Big 7 title. He also brought Kansas to the March Madness championship game before losing by 1 point in triple overtime to North Carolina. In his second season, he led KU to an 18-5 record, which was 2nd in the Big 12. However, it was not good enough for them to make the big dance, as only 24 teams were invited in 1957 and 1958, instead of the 68 that are invited now. After that season, Wilt was taken as the number 1 overall pick by the Philadelphia Warriors. In his first 6 seasons with the Warriors, he averaged 41.5 points per game and 25.1 rebounds. No, that's not a typo. During his 1961-1962 season, he averaged 50.4 points per game, which is a record that will never be broken. Speaking of records that will never be broken, on March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a single game against the New York Knicks. An NBA game is 48 minutes long. In Wilt Chamberlain's 1961-62 season, he averaged 48.5 minutes per game. This is because Wilt Chamberlain played the whole entire game. He had some games go to overtime. Now if a player plays over 30 minutes a game, that's considered time. Because Wilt Chamberlain was able to break so many records, one of his nicknames was the Record Book. During Wilt Chamberlain's career, he achieved all of these awards: 1959-60 Rookie of the Year, 1959-60 All-Star Game MVP, 4-time MVP, 13-time NBA All-Star, 1967-68 Assist Champion, 2-time NBA Champ, 1971-72 Finals MVP, 7-time Scoring Champion, 2-time All-Defensive Team, 10-time All-NBA, 11-time Total Rebounds champion, Hall of Famer, and most importantly, he was listed to the NBA 75th anniversary team, which includes the top 75 players in NBA history. He also finished as the all-time rebound leader with 23,924, and he's currently 7th in points with 31,419. Wilt would be the all-time leader in blocks by a very large margin, but unfortunately blocks did not become an official NBA statistic until after he retired. Blocks were only recorded for 112 of Chamberlain's games, and he averaged an amazing 8.8 blocks per game. The record for blocks per game is held by Mark Eaton at only 5.5. In the 2020 NBA season, Miles Turner led the league in blocks with 3.4 blocks per game, and only 3 other players in the league averaged over 2. He was dominant in every aspect of the game.